So I want to talk to you about recruiting wrestlers, evaluating talent. You look at a Hulk Hogan, you say, yeah, I'd want him in the locker room. But when you're filling out the mid card, did you have a way that you looked at talent? Did you something you looked for in people you brought on that weren't already established names?
Oh, I think so. Confidence. I don't think you can be a great performer in any kind of performance art, whether it's music, acting, dance, or
Mhm.
being a magician like David Copperfield. You have to have a lot of confidence. And for example, if you don't have a ton of confidence, you're not going to last long. So one of the first things that I always look for, this is true in life, it's not just wrestling, but
Mhm.
if I'm contemplating working with somebody on a project, there's two things. One is, were they on time for the meeting?
Mhm.
Because that to me says everything about someone's character in terms of how they respect other people. I always pay attention to if someone is on time or not.
I agree with that, by the way.
The other thing I look for is confidence. Because if you've got somebody that's got great work ethic, that has respect for the people they're working with, because they showed up on time, if they've got self-respect and respect others, and they've got a lot of confidence, you can build on that. If they're lacking in mic skills, promo skills, for example, you can teach that to someone with confidence. It's harder to teach it to someone with no confidence or little doubt. We often hear, yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's confidence. I think that's creativity. I think that's a positive attitude. I think all of those things in combination have a lot to do with the it factor. So I look for those things in combination. Skill set, basic minimal skill set requirements, of
Right.
course. But first and foremost, it was all because I've met a lot of people that had a lot of great skills that lacked a lot of other things. And you can't fix it. They either lack the respect or whatever, or the confidence in many cases, and they overcompensated it with other things. But those are the basics that I look for. Just
Yeah.
self-respect, respect of others, confidence, and desire and ambition.
Do you think someone can learn confidence? If
Sure,
someone's not confident when you first meet them, do you think they can turn that around, or is it something they have to be
sure,
born with? Yeah.
absolutely they can. It's always faster to
Yeah.
work with somebody that comes through the door with confidence. If it's a healthy confidence, sometimes people can come through the door with an unhealthy level of confidence,
Right.
thinking they're actually better at something than they really are. I've been guilty of that myself a few times, by the way. Um, but if it's a happy, I always get such an ego. Yeah, I've got an ego. Hopefully
Yeah.
it's a healthy one, because I think ego is part of it. My ego refuses to allow me to be late for a meeting. That's my
Right.
ego. Pride, self-respect. To me, that's all ego. And I could be wrong. I don't know what the actual
And
definition of ego is,
right.
but me, ego is all of those things. And I think having a healthy ego is incredibly important, because I think that ego is the sum of those parts that we just discussed.
I think you make a
So
good point too. I think
I never minded if someone had a good, healthy ego, but if somebody came in overconfident, cocky, and I could see it, they'd lose my attention pretty quick.
a healthy ego means you want to put on a good show every time because your ego can't handle not doing a good job.
Right.
So let's put you in the shoes of a promoter who is trying to get some good wrestlers on their show. But let's say you don't have a huge budget. Is there anything as a promoter you could give as advice to say, hey, maybe this is how you can get the people you want on your show without paying an arm and a leg away?
I always have the luxury of paying an arm and a leg, so I almost just gotta be honest about it. I have no experience in that whatsoever.
Right. Well, let me pivot to a different question then. You talked about having the ability to pay an arm and a leg. That means you famously brought in a lot of big names into WCW.